We've decided German architecture is interesting because of their roofs. Why are they so tall? What is this?
We have made it to our next overnight destination and have just been carrying in the van for the past hour because there appears to be an event happening. It's some sort of outside cinema thing, and when we arrived the car park really wasn't busy, but now everywhere. It's been 3 days since Jasmund National Park, which was lovely, and we moved on to the next place and decided to book a hotel in Berlin.
Yeah, as when we were sitting somewhere in a car park, I can't remember where, we thought that actually it'd be quite nice to stay in a hotel and treat ourselves when we were in Berlin. So we then booked 2 nights. We were going to go for 1, but thought we'd treat ourselves just to a day sat in a hotel, because what's travelling without sitting in a hotel? And then the next day we could just travel around. So happy with that. We then set off to a lovely national park. On the way there I was thinking might be quite hard to drive around in Berlin, and then thought, hang on a minute, isn't there that thing in Berlin where diesel cars or high emission cars can't drive there? So then Rhea looked it up, and it turns out that probably not. No, because we're smelly and we booked a hotel in the centre of this zone. But we then got to National Park and we're going to Google all this stuff to make sure that we can come up with some kind of solution.
We then didn't have any signal, so we couldn't do that. So instead we decided to go for a little bike ride, have a little explore of the place, which turned into 3.5 hours later, which was tiring, especially for me and myself being not an avid cyclist, so it was tough, but that's okay. Germany's very flat.
So she did very well there. We got back following Google Maps as my battery was dying. Made it back after the 3.5 hours, and then managed to find some signal not too far away, and worked out that we could probably just park somewhere outside of it. So the plan now is to go into Berlin and try and park in a residential area that looks fairly safe and leave the van there for 2 days. So what's the worst that could possibly happen there?
We then realised today that Oscar, being the guy who booked it, potentially booked just for one person. So we've now had to email and we're waiting to hear back from them to make sure that it is for 2. If not, the deal that we found is not so good.
So we're now sat somewhere very sunny near a railway and a fish farm. So we're going to have a little wander around. Just had lunch, that was very nice. And then hopefully get some kind of contact with the hotel, and it won't be too much more money to add Rhea as well, because it'd be quite sad if she couldn't come. And then go from there. Hello!